AROHANUI, Aries, welcome. This is your reading for this new moon in Leo, which is happening, well, literally it's a couple of days away, or a few days away now. So we're getting these readings out. Do check out your ascendant and moon, especially if you know what they're in. And these are intuitive tarot readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So let's see what the storyline is at the moment for Aries. We've got the star. We'll talk about this and then we'll go through and clarify as we do. We've got the beautiful Aquarian card. I'll talk about them now. Beautiful star. Bridging the gaps. When I say bridging, it's a card about healing, really. We're mixing the waters. We've got those 7 stars above us. You know, it speaks of a connection to source force, God force, whatever that is for you. A higher connection, I guess, or a connection that's very human to a higher force. And in the star, you know, often one speaks of dreams and wishes coming true. It is a moment of, I guess, of understanding that connection within yourself. We then have a gift, maybe because of our star moment, Aries. We have this gift of the Ace of Abundance, Ace of Discs. Walking through the doorway, we get presented with potential here for great abundance in a material sense when we're looking at those discs. You know, maybe for some Aries out there, there has been a period of kind of retreat, possibly, or going inward. Anyway, let's get another card. But yeah, the Ace of Pentacles, you could say, you know, money coming to you. Lots of things, actually, resource-wise, coming to you. 10 of Discs, another disc. Understanding. Look, to me this speaks of, and I just say it because I'll just say it, that's the whole point, isn't it? And remember, these readings are general, very general and intuitive. There's an understanding here, which is in regards to you know, your base, your root, your roots, your family lines. There's an understanding here. Look, it could be on a very literal level for someone. It could in fact be, you know, an inheritance coming through. It could be anything like that. But it's definitely connected with what you see to be as your family, whether that's something that you've created or whether it's the family that you grew up in. It's something to do with the people within that is the source of this level of money, abundance. It could be things, not necessarily money, you know. So I'll get one more card and then we'll clarify, Aries. Do we need one more card? Four of Swords. A time of, I think, degustation. A time of digestion. A time of rest. A time of rest, Aries. And you may ask why. Well, because I think there's been some reasonably gravitas-filled, if that makes sense, gravitas-filled realizations for you recently. And in my mind, the storyline seems to be in regards to, it's the source of this is family lines and lineage. So let's clarify the star, please, with the Thoth deck. The star, yeah. Because, you know, it's what I was thinking when the 4 came out here at the end. What do we see here? Traditionally, we have one sword lying beside the resting figure and the 3 swords above or on the wall. There's something about overcoming something here, overcoming a level of sadness. There's sadness in here. In the star, we see a level of healing. As I said at the beginning, we're mixing the waters, where there's almost a baptismal quality to the star always in my mind. To clarify the star, we have the 3 of swords that we see in that 4 of swords. There's a level of sorrow involved in this. This could be for someone quite specific out there, Aries. Sorrow, generational patterns and habits that you've possibly been dealing with. This is part of the star. There's a healing involved in this. And a level of sorrow in terms of letting something go. I mean, letting something go in order to embrace this, in order to walk through that doorway. Because in those darkest moments, sometimes is, you know, is where we find the gold, actually, either within ourselves or within others or within a situation, Aries. So let's have a look at the Ace of Pentacles for Aries. These cards are just, you know, jumping. We've got the Knight of Cups. There's a new understanding somehow. There's an emotional offering for sure that's attached to this. There's an emotional element to that ace. It could be an offering from someone in your life. The Knight of Cups moves very quickly with that offering. We don't want to get lost in the offering if it is us, and if it is someone else. This is a card of emotion overriding intellect in the Thoth deck. It has been swept along within that that need to offer that cup, and I often get that thing where you know, it's like it's moving so quickly that the knight often gets sort of dazzled by the reflection in the cup and ends up, I don't know, riding off a cliff. I don't mean that in a literal sense, obviously. But this could be an offering from someone in your life. It's associated with this lineage, with this family thing that's tied up with some sort of level of abundance here. Very interesting. So we'll look at the 10 of discs. That's it. It's this. Look, you can't really make these things up. So we're looking at the 10 of discs. This is your root chakra, if you want to look at it like that. This is your family lineage. It is from where you have come from. To clarify that, we have, what do we have again? the Star, a healing process. A healing process. There's been some, what I see is sort of holes in the fabric of some sort of genetic, or not necessarily genetic, but family line. There are people out there who are adopted, and that and that is just as real. Your parental influence and what you pick up generationally is the same deal, right? And I do see like holes in that fabric that has gone on generationally, holes that have been transferred down the line, and it is something where it's actually healing in your at your point, for you, by you, directed by you. It's pretty full on, Aries, for some Arians out there. And now we go to that Four of Swords, where we have some rest, we have some respite, we have some time to digest all of this. We've got probably maybe one too many cards. And yeah, look, this is quite big. We've got the Princess of Cups, very Neptunian, very muse-like, very dreamy. Is this real? Is this real? It's like news that is totally unexpected. It's like money coming in, resources coming in. It's fully understanding like family lines and what's been passed on, and what you don't need to carry anymore, what you can let go of, what you want to continue to embody. It's quite a big deal here, Aries. Yeah, the Princess of Cups. It is a very Neptunian card, very imaginative, and with that we have the Hierophant, which I guess classically was always seen to be the institution of churches, because they ran countries and nations. But I see it in contemporary times here more as spiritual information or mentorship that appears for you, for your growth, for your spiritual growth. And I don't mean religion. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your own personal spiritual growth. And with the Hierophant, we see assistance within this. We have support in this, Aries. So it's very wild. Let's get a Brian Froud, Pixie and Fairy, just to have another glimmer of something for you Arians out there. So it is quite specific to me in my mind, this reading. Possibly there's a decision from this point after sitting, within the Four of Swords and the imaginings and the nature of letting your mind wander, letting yourself digest information. Within that zone, there's a decision that will come to. That doesn't really make sense, does it? We get indie. This is about making a choice, feeling somewhat, indecisive possibly. But you know what? There are some times where you don't need to make a decision yet, whatever this is for you. You know that it's weighted on one side. You know that you kind of know what you're going to do, Aries. whatever is going on here. I think that's quite wonderful. And I think this week we are using my own deck, the Journey Map. We get one card here at the end. I'm just going to spread them out and pull one for you, Aries. I hope you're having a good week here, and I really do. Where are we? Wow. And I think you certainly are. Awake and aware. I think possibly was that like last full moon reading, was it, Aries? I can't remember, but awake and aware in this deck. There are 4 seasonal cards. Welcome in, and this is a card of spring, I think. It's a lovely card. Awake and aware, welcome in. Oh, it's quite delightful. So there you go, Aries. I hope you enjoyed that and got something out of that reading. And if not, do look at your other place, if you know what your moon and ascendant are, Venus and Jupiter as well, for a more holistic viewpoint. All the readings will be up later today. On that note, take good care at this time. Ka kite. Bye, Aries. Cherry.